The golden sun hit the mountains early on in the morning, of the peaks in the distance, Mount Cook poking through the clouds, the birds were singing. And the sun just peeked above the hills in the background. I wasn't quite ready for what I was going to see in the morning, but I can tell you this was a fantastic spot to camp at, and it's an amazing place to have breakfast. So it came with this gas burner, a saucepan. I've got some water on the boil at the moment for coffee, and maybe washing up in a little bit. Then I'm going to move on to some sausage and egg with a tortilla. That'd be pretty good. I've got my AeroPress here, AeroPress Go. It's really great for having on the go. I hadn't had one recently, just bought it, and it's a fantastic thing to have with you. It's really, really great bit of kit. But yeah, coffee by this is something that can't be beaten, really. If you have lots of time, visit as many places as you can, but if you don't, I'd almost avoid Lake Tekapo and come straight here, spend the day here and a night. You just won't regret it. It's just absolutely amazing here. I wasn't sure what it would be like in the morning, if it would still be cloudy, what the view would be like, if it would be as good as it's made out, but I'm not sure if you can see behind me, but it really is as good as people say. It's an amazing spot, and it's so nice just to be on my own here and camping on the edge of the lake, just there. There's not many opportunities to do that from where I live, which is so it's a big bonus, which is lovely. Today is a little bit more exploring. I'm going to go from here to Queenstown, will be the end point, and I'll find a little campsite around there. But on the way, maybe make our way towards Mount Cook, so you get some views that way. And there's also a trail, like a off-road trail on the way to Queenstown, which I might have a look at, which has got a campsite in the end, but probably won't be settling there today because I need to get a bit further. But this is just a beautiful spot. Well, this really was a fantastic spot. I've packed everything up now, had my breakfast, got a few shots as you've seen. Amazing Mount Cook in the distance there. The clouds are actually rolling in. Not so much in the distance over there, but sort of over these mountains here. So I had the best view this morning of the sunrise. Cool to have a picnic bench here, my own little private beach, and absolutely now no one around at all. You know, you've really got your own space, which is incredible. Packed up the barrel, everything's back in, and now I'm going to head Queenstown Wood, but not straight there, and see how we go. I don't think I'm going to go up the track towards Mount Cook because I've sort of seen it now from here. It looks amazing, and focus on going to a new place. What a fantastic first night in New Zealand. This view really set me up for the rest of the trip, and I knew that I had a lot in store. Now I just need to get back on the road and see what was next. Just off the main road, there's this fantastic river track running down into the woods and along the valley. It had some beautiful scenery and amazing blue waters, as you would expect, but nothing too challenging, easy for the Hilux, even with a few puddles as well. There is actually an app that you can get for exploring in New Zealand. It rates tracks by their difficulty, and it means you can set off down them knowing that you're not going to do any damage to a rental vehicle, which was my concern having this one for the week. I wanted to take it easy, and this was a great one. So there you go, there's the Luxie on the Pukaki River track. And look at that view from here. I'm about a mile in, I'd say. I think it takes about 2 hours to do the whole thing, so I don't think I'm going to be doing the whole thing today. You know, you need to be here for a month or so, or a few months to really probably a year. It's probably years to be able to actually explore everything properly, but I've only got a few days, so I'm just gonna maybe head down a little bit more, see what's there, but carry on to the next town, I think, get some fuel, see what there is, and then find some other places. But wow, what a view.
Thankfully the Hilux came with high 4, low 4 and a diff lock as well, so just in case anything did happen, I had the backup of the diff lock to get me out of any tricky situations. Wasn't completely deserted. This cool Range Rover Classic with a Union Jack on the top came past me and down the track. Who knows where they were going. What a great day. Straight back onto the main road then and into the mountains. These highways were fantastic. These snaking roads all the way down through the valleys, taking you onto the next city. They're just beautiful and also amazing for just doing long distance. Hours slip away without you even realising because the views are incredible and the roads are deserted.
So here we are at a hunting and fishing shop right next to Bivouac Outdoors. Going to go in here, get a couple of bits and pieces for my week, and then go in there and get a sleeping bag and maybe a few other bits and pieces. But so cool to visit some outdoor shops different to the UK.
I'm not sure if it's just me, but shops like this in a different country really get me excited. We don't really have anything quite like this, and the range of stuff they had in this store was just crazy, from tents, clothes, hunting gear. I got a knife in here. Just an awesome place to visit.
So not only do you have cool shops everywhere, pretty much, that's what I've seen so far, but you've also got cool rigs everywhere. It's just so different to what you see in the UK. Look at that tray back, 2 roof tents, Land Cruiser just there. Awesome.
But next up was exploring and trying to find a campsite for the night. Eventually I found a place to book into where I could have a shower and empty the truck and give it a good old clean and get some Wi-Fi for the night. After a sleep under the stars, time to wake up, get back on the road and carry on to the next place. More winding, snaking hairpin roads up alpine passes. I can't imagine what this place is like in the winter. Fantastic for skiing and even more exciting views.
So I've just come to this lookout spot, the scenic spot here on the top of this winding, snaking road up towards Wanaka. This is sort of like a slower, more scenic route towards Wanaka from Queenstown, which is where I've just been. And it's a nice little viewing point from up here. Climbs very quickly from the bottom of there, lots of hairpin turns, which is not something we get at home, so it's very cool to do a few of those in the whiskey barrel. But yeah, moving on to Wanaka next.
My initial plan was to get a Defender with a rooftop tent or a Land Cruiser with a pop top, but all they had was this barrel and I came to love it really. It was much better than a Defender for long distance because it was automatic with cruise control and it just ate up the miles. I love this spot on the top of the mountains, looking at Queenstown in the background. You can see the airport just there. Great spot to stop. With a few more hours on the road under my belt, we ended up in Wanaka, a lakeside town with some fantastic shops and restaurants, and I even stopped for some tacos. Fantastic place. It really is true what people say, around every corner there's another lake, another mountain, another view, and each one takes your breath away. This spot down by the beach was lovely, and I even took the thumbnail here. Starting to run out of fuel a little bit, found this place. Sadly no fuel, but did look like it was out of a movie. Thankfully, just down the road there was a 24-hour fuel station, so phew, we filled back up again.
So I've just driven all the way here. This is Harst Beach from Wanaka. It's about 3 hours, I think it was in total, along an amazing valley all the way in the distance there. Did really well. An amazing beach here. Just followed the track off the main road, didn't see anyone. There's no one here as well. Look at this beach, just covered in trees. Wood everywhere. It's incredible, not a person to be seen. You can see all the way into the distance there, and the same thing the other way. It's just incredible. You'd find it hard to I guess you could make your way along driving. I'm not going to because the sand's quite soft and the tyres are quite hard and I don't have a pump. But just look down there, it's absolutely unreal. The distance you can see so far that you just can't see into the distance anymore. It's absolutely incredible. It did say no camping here. I don't know if you went further down, if it's okay or not. I'm not going to. I've actually got a spot just back down the valley a little bit, about 5 minutes, where there's a campsite, so I'm going to stay there. But I can spend a bit of time here, take it all in, and then go and stay there tonight and have a shower and all that sort of thing. But this is just absolutely amazing. These waves, you can't really see it, but out of the back there, that one breaking is probably like 6 foot. Amazing clean waves, and when the sets roll in, it's definitely surfable, but they're almost shore breaking, so you'll probably get hurt.
Felt a little bit adventurous, didn't want to go too far, put the rear diff locks on and it was pretty soft actually. The tail got a little bit loose, but thankfully straight back onto the hard pack stuff and back onto the trail. Love this Range Rover, stopped to take a video. The guy in the garage told me off for trespassing. Oh dear.
So here you go, here's my camp spot for the night. The amazing mountains in the background. Main road there sadly, but there's, it's New Zealand, there's not really anyone here. And there's no one on it, which is great. This is my chicken. He's called Chicken. He's my chicken for the evening, or she, sorry. And here's my cooking setup. You can see I'm going to be doing meatballs, beef and pork meatballs with a pasta sauce and pasta. Gourmet edition. It's a cool little setup. Everything's going well. Got a cup of tea brewing at the moment, and yeah, this is day 3, day 4 tomorrow, and then the final day after that. Nice 80 series Land Cruiser. There's great Land Cruisers everywhere, which is amazing. So I think I just made a little bit of a mistake. What I should have done, instead of putting a pan on the barbecue, is just barbecue the meatballs. It's because I have to do the sauce, but I just mix it all in later. So yeah, you can definitely barbecue meatballs, and yeah, that was a bit silly.
I slept well, but woke up to rain unfortunately. It was time to say goodbye to this campsite, get back on the road and work my way north up the west coast. This bridge was just beautiful, going over the glacial rivers, into the mountains, stop off for some breakfast, and heading on my way towards Ross. Not only is New Zealand beautiful and is like what everyone says about it, but something I couldn't get my head around is just how many countries it looks like and it can span into one small country. It reminded me of America, Spain, the Faroe Islands, Scotland, and many other countries along the way. So many different sort of alpine landscapes, lake views and coastline, just stunning. So here we are in Ross, parked the truck up right next to the beach and had a little explore around. Amazing grey sand beaches, no shells at all unfortunately, but more driftwood. So generally on the west coast I found it to be slightly different to the rest of the New Zealand that I've seen. It's beautiful in its own way, but very different, very sort of just very green and lots of trees and sort of jungly feeling, and quite sort of rural, and because of that slightly not hostile but like less sort of welcoming to sort of tourism, I guess. It's still absolutely amazing and I've been enjoying the drive. It's been sort of Jurassic Park style highways all the way along, and I've done 3.5 hours to Ross. Got here and there's not really much to do here. It's not the most beautiful place. It's quite a gloomy day, and as you saw, the beach was sort of a nice worth a visit, but I've decided to not stay there tonight actually, and I'm actually just going to carry straight on for another sort of 3.5 hours or so to Christchurch, back to the finishing destination. And I've got my hotel there ready for when I commence work for the month doing the cricket, so yeah, it should be good. So I've sort of decided to do that tonight and cut it a little bit short, but I think it will be worth it. I'm going to head through the mountains back to Christchurch now. So now it felt like a little bit of a mission trying to get back before the sun, but it was still just as fun. Bridges, amazing views, and even a train. I think he must have thought I was a train spotter. Here we are on Arthur's Pass, a fantastic range of mountains with a snaking road all the way back to Christchurch. A great way to either start or end your trip. An amazing place to explore. And with that, it was time to head back to the city, get the truck washed, and then end up at the hotel. As you can see here, the truck doesn't look quite as good in the city as it does in the wilderness, but I'm going to miss this thing. Couldn't help myself from stopping off and going into this amazing showroom filled with Land Rovers and old classic cars, even bikes. As you can see, there's Series 1s, cool tray-back Land Rovers, mini Land Rovers, anything you can imagine, army spec to camper vans, fire engines, anything you like. This Datsun was absolutely incredible. I spoke to the guy that worked there, really nice chap. They have some great vehicles. He did want me to buy one, but unfortunately I couldn't take one home with me, so it was a no that day. Coming back down to this part of the world, I can't help but go into Super Cheap Auto. What a great place. Like Halfords in the UK, but 10 times better. They even have Max Tracks and a winch. Cool place to visit. And with that, it was time to hand back the keys into Juicy and back to Trekker, and what a week it's been. Just amazing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little trip. Just under 4 days, it was a great little trip. I hope to come back one day, maybe for months or years, and explore properly and make some more films. I'll see you in the next one.